Okay, let's go.
Welcome at the winery. Here we are at the village of Cassgnes, and it's an ocean called Caramani, Côte du Roussillon village Caramani. It's very specific in Roussillon because of the soil. It's very unique. You can only find it here. And in the stages. The soil is made of gneiss, so it's a very old metamorphic rock. It's similar to granite, but it's more easily crushable and fracturate.
Because it's older.
Because it's older, and so of course you don't see the big rocks because on top of it, because it's crushable, we have sand. So we have about 20 of this sand of gneiss, and underneath so it's a very very dry kind of soil. So the vines really have to go really deep in the soil to find a bit of humidity and water. So this is very specific here. Also the latitude, because here we're between 300 and 400 meter high, and it's very windy as you can see. Today, for us, it's not windy at all. It's a normal day. It can be very very windy, and because we are on the right of the Cassgnes river, just here there is the lake, and then it goes like also. There's a lot of northern facing vines also. So it's a rather fresh kind of because of the soil. Because I forgot to tell you, the soil. This soil is also very high in acid. So it's also got the altitude, the wind, of course. It's the same everywhere. And also the northern facing vines.
But perhaps in terms of particularity of this kind of soil, because we have a lot of fine elements, you will find some good structure, very gentle structure, okay? And also because the roots can go very deep inside the subsoil, we have something quite rocky, so it's possible to find also very to in terms of spices, so maybe you have more experience than us about that. And yeah, so this is also something very specific here from this terroir that's hopefully we won't test also later, is that we have also that Eric told us of the soft structure. Really here we have strong wines, but at the same time they're really very smooth, very soft. The tannins are always quite simple. This is very specific of this kind of soil. This is actually the same soil you can find in northern Rhone Valley also. You can find this exact same soil in some part of Hermitage or some part of Condrieu for the white and Côte-Rôtie for the red. This is the same kind of soil you can find there. And for the whites, it's a lot of sapidity, a lot of something a bit of saltiness. More than a minerality, of course, but more saltiness. This is very specific. So here at the winery we have about 30 hectares of vines. They are all in this village. We have more than 10 hectares just
other vines you see the arrows. This is not a difference grapes. This is a white grenache there. This is an experiment plantation of Vionnier, like in Condrieu, because we have the same soil, so we wanted to try. We have Carignan on the other side. We have Syrah over there, and other grapes in different places. Here we are 100% organic since the beginning, so it was 2007 for us, and also biodynamic since 2012. We're not certified, but we more than enough to be certified, but some part of it don't fit our philosophy, so we go for the certification. So maybe we can go inside to see the winery and how we work and test some wine. Bonjour. We're working together. He's making the wines, and I try to serve them. And Lucas, which is doing an apprenticeship at the winery at the moment. So very young team. Sorry, it's just be careful when you carve it up, but you can walk on it, so there's no problem. C'est semaine prochaine. On va organiser un petit repas aussi. So this is where we do all the fermentation and winemaking for the reds. This winery was built in 2008 because we started with my father started the winery in 2007, and we did a test vinification at a friend's place to confirm the potential of this terroir, and then once we had the confirmation, it was great and very original and very qualitative. We built this winery in 2008, and so luckily we have very modern equipment, and it's really also very specific to our vineyard. So maybe you don't see it, but we have a lot of different tanks sizes, so they fit all of our parcels, and we can do all the winemaking by parcels. So all the reds are fermented here. We can use stainless steel tank or also cement tank, depending on what we are looking. We mostly do distilling for the reds here. Since the beginning, we always have done 100% distilled wines, but since 2017 with Luis, we have started to try also with the whole grapes. So something we will maybe test after in the cellar. Here, because we have a modern equipment, we can work the most naturally as possible. So we do all the fermentation in indigenous yeast, and we try to do the less work as possible. Our ambition is to be very, very lazy, but in the good sense, meaning we try to not to touch too much the wines and to keep the terroir expression at its best. So that means minimum sulfites, a little bit, but really the minimum. Hopefully no filtration, only if it's needed, and everything like this. So we do a lot of work in the vines in order to have the best grape as possible, and that once we are in the winery, it's easier.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have any question about something specific, or maybe you want to add something.
Yeah, we pretty much say everything that we're trying to do. Everything's simple. It's very traditional fermentation. The natural yeast use is something we retried 2 years ago as well, and it works perfectly. So we do all of that now on the whites and the red. The full grape for the maceration, it's an experiment we started 2 years ago just to see, because I worked in different places where they do that a lot in Burgundy, and I wanted to try here to see what it can give to the wine, and we liked it, and we tried different kind of percentage to see the difference, and we're pretty happy with that. We started also to do the second fermentation, the malolactic fermentation in barrel as much as possible for the red, because it's also something I used to do in other winery. So after it's very classic. The less you do, the more the terroir is present itself. So.
Le potentiel bouteille confondu, c'est quoi?
Le potentiel bouteille. So here, comment tu dis? Ouais. Here we can vinify easily, not so much in fact. The winery is quite big for our size, but we can vinify up to 800, 900 hectoliters, so maybe up to 100,000 bottles, which is maybe average in Roussillon for an organic winery like us. We can maybe do more, but it will start to be very tricky because of the setup we have here.
And we used to do less, but when my father bought the vineyard and he changed everything to organic, of course the yields went down before it came back, and it's getting better and better over the year. And since 2 years we're in progressions, and I hope we're still gonna progress on that. And so we
right now we are producing about 80,000 bottles each year. But yeah, we think like with this setup maybe we can go up to 100,000. But this is we'll see how it goes. It's not we don't want to grow very quickly for now. So.
And it's not about doing a number of bottles. It's also with the vineyard doing the right yields, the right average. Because I think if it's too low, there is no balance. Sometimes we hear that it's very low production because it's very low yields. Yeah, it is, but I like when it's well balanced in the vineyard as well for the yields, because the wine will be as well balanced. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of concentration. So I think here we can do our goal is to do 30 hectoliters per hectare, 35 hectoliters per hectare, and we're getting there. And that's how we're going to do the highest, I think, for me, quality at this average, because the vineyard is well balanced. Doesn't produce too much, because 30, 35 is not that much for I don't know, for another region. But for here, it's already very good yields, and I think it's going to be very good for the quality of the wine.
Yeah, because our aim is not to produce the most concentrated wine as possible. We really try to find the right balance. We want to have the sunny side of the Roussillon, but we also want to have the freshness at the same time. So to have something not too heavy in the wines, to have something very more elegant. So that's our goal.
You will see that
not always very easy.
on the terroir. I think he talked to you about the terroir outside we have here, which is a specific terroir of Cassgnes. And this terroir brings us the freshness we're talking about, and we're just different from the other region in Roussillon. It's very hard to do. For now, it's not really known that there is a lot of different terroirs in Roussillon, but there is. And what we can do here is very, very different from Espira de la Gligue, which is 20 minutes away from here. And sometimes we do Roussillon altogether. But here, so we're not better than the others, but our specificity, because of the altitude, 400 meters high, and the soil we have, very sandy, it gives a lot of freshness. So we are sometimes, if you do like blind testing, people more compare us not for Rhone Valley, not for the taste, but the structure, the mouth, the freshness, the tannins and all, than very Roussillon. Because we have concentration, because we have sun, but you'll see the very the freshness our wine can have, even if it's 40 or 14 or 15 degree in alcohol, you'll have a lot of freshness. You'll see that we're going to do a barrel tasting on 3 kind of grapes we have here. You'll see that it's always very fresh.
How many wines?
So we have 3 whites, one rosé, and 4 reds. Yeah.
And maybe we can continue
In the salon.
in the barrage chez les frères. On va d'abord continuer la présentation de notre truc. Je vais chercher les verres pour l'instant là. Et Are you interested to taste something on
barrel?
or directly on barrel?
Yeah, why not?
Are you able to do it?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Ok. Et tu choisis des trucs qui soient déjà bien amassés dans les balles.
Bah, j'ai 2018, mais c'est.
D'accord.
C'est 17, c'est vraiment.
On commence sur la page, je pense que ça peut bien. Je sais.
Tu prends le crachoir aussi?
So we will do the tasting, and after the visit, after the tasting, we will finish by the vineyard. So going down towards Cuchos.
Yeah, that's the goal. So here it's a brand new cellar for the barrel. We used to have the room at the end of the winery on the other side, but the room wasn't settled for the barrel aging because it was too dry and getting too hot during summer. So when I arrived here, I really pushed to make a real cellar, and we did it. So it's brand new. We had it for the last harvest, so August 2018. So we decided to not close the wall, so we can have like the soil right in the cellar. So it brings exchange between the soil and here. So we have some humidity, and we can have like a nice pedagogic cut of our own. So you'll see that there's 50 centimeters of sand, and after it, the rocks. The rocks is so I'm not going to touch it every time because it's very it broke very easily. So I'll see like any kind of rocks you take breaks. So it's rock, but the roots can go through. And so when we did the hole, we can find some roots because there is a vine just on this side, just over there. You can find some roots very deep. So I think that's what give the freshness we have in Roussillon and in the Appellation Caramani here, because even if there is a very low space of ground, which would be here, see here it's the sandy soil, after here it's rock, but all the rock could very easily break, so the roots will go through that, and the water as well. So the root has to go deep because the water goes very quickly into the. Yeah. So now you have moisture, natural moisture. So it's not very like the color it is normally, but the moisture doesn't seem natural. That's what you have if you go in the Burgundy cellar. All the wall out.
Oh, really? They have this kind of.
Yeah, it's natural. So on all these parts, you have the 2018 reds. I can make you try. Sorry?
Red.
All red. Different kind of grape, different kind of barrel. So it'll give as much different wine as there is some of barrel. And after we do all the tasting to see what we do with the blend and all.
When was your first vintage?
My first vintage was in 2014.
Okay. But the winery's first vintage was?
Here, the first vintage here, it was 2017. So that is my second baby.
Oh,
here.
Okay. So
Second baby.
For the winery.
2007 first.
Seven,
Here.
2007.
Yeah. The first of the winner. And my first year was 17.
17. Oh, 10 years after.
Yeah, 10 years after, yeah. I was still too young, and after study and after different experience in different cellar, and yeah. So we can try first Grenache. So here in Caramani we have not a lot of Grenache. Usually the vineyard in Roussillon, they have Grenache and Syrah mostly, and a little bit of Carignan. And here we have mostly Carignan, Syrah, and very little bit of Grenache. I don't know. Je peux me passer un verre, ça se vérifie quand même.
C'est quoi des étudiants comme ça?
Ça, c'est des. En fait, c'est des fûts qui sont faits.
After you can come.
Maybe
Sorry?
on a pu essayer
Grenache.
pour le travail sur les livres. C'est ce qu'on appelle les cigares. C'est des cigares. En fait, ça fait des. C'est des
Tu veux remplir mon verre?
18. So it's about 9 months already in oak now? Or
Sorry?
it's about 9 months in oak already now?
Already, it was in November.
November, okay, so, okay. 7. Yeah, okay.
He's gonna do again like 11. 11.
chez eux, on a repris la même chose, mais on est parti sur une pièce d'origine classique. Pareil en fait.
Roger is non, ok.
Franchement, il y a un truc. Attends. Tu sais, il faut essayer.
Oui, voilà, c'est ça.
Nous serons.
Approcher.
On va essayer, ça fait une bonne idée, ça. On pourra, au lieu de mettre. Quand t'as des problèmes d'azote, tu vois.
这个叫根本就不问桶的话，
Le nombre précis. Quoi? Le nombre précis. Pourquoi plutôt que de laisser au fond? Ah mais les équipes par popularité ça monte.
Oui, je sais.
D'accord. Il faut bien que je te taquine un peu. Quoi.
Tu as dit qu'est-ce que c'était?
Ça va plus vite.
tout ça.
J'ai pas le temps.
Ouais, c'est juste.
Alors, so that is Grenache, 2018. It has been 7 months in barrel now. It will do like 11 months in barrel still. It's natural yeast, 30% of full grape, and malolactic fermentation in barrel, and nothing else.
So the barrels are new or used or?
The barrel is new.
No, it's an old barrel, obviously, which has been reworked.
Okay.
Sometimes when we have old barrel, we send it back to a company which work them again and send it back. And it's a troisième main sur la reprise ou deuxième main sur la reprise?
Deuxième main sur la
So it's a second
pass.
wine on the rework. On the
It's,
so it will be
the thing is
kind
that
of standard.
we don't have anymore the year.
Oh, yeah.
That's a mistake of the guy who did the rework.
Yeah, that's what I was
He forgot
wondering,
to-
like, oh,
we sent in 10 barrels and all came back the same. I was like, which one was?
If you have too much wine,
So,
if you
but
have
they
too
were
much wine, you can put it back.
almost 10 years old.
Okay. Okay.
No waste.
So for the moment the aging is just to run a little bit the tannins.
Yeah.
Because the nose is already
Very
Yeah, the
full.
nose is-
And the mouth is still a little bit dry, and because the full berry gives a lot of tannins, more tannins. But we do that because we know that we're going to do 18 months of aging. So after 7 months, we're still going to do 11 months, and the tannins going to become very smooth. So it's not a problem for us. In contrary, it's going to keep kind of youngness to the wine for the 18 months of aging. Sometimes we figure out that when after 18 months of aging in barrel, the wine is still very good. It's very round, very fruity, but it's kind of not the freshness and the youngness. And we think that the full grape will give tension and keep the tension over the months in barrel. So we'll still have the full grape will not feel like dryness and all, but we'll have some freshness and tension adding to the terroir as well, which gives that naturally. So you see, you don't have like a kind of grape that's very heavy, very fruity, more nice acidity, nice freshness. And it's not because we try to harvest sooner to have this freshness as we harvest, we search very high maturity. So now it's about 40.5 degree. So very nice maturity, because we know that the terroir is going to bring some freshness anyway. So we can wait.
the altitude helps a lot also.
Yeah, the altitude helps a lot.
And it's a cold, and it's nearly a cold climate.
Yeah, we always have 3, 4, 5 degrees less than near. Yeah.
It's quite cold. And it's just regarding to a special corridor which is coming from the north also.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you try very old Carignan.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait de ça?
You can put the rest in the barrel.
And just one information about this wine. It will be dedicated for which cuvée? We don't know. It will be a new cuvée? No.
No, I think it's gonna be for Comavant or Saint-Pézaton, depending, but surely Comavant.
We don't decide yet what in which, because we only do blends. For now, we only do blends, but we don't decide right now which barrel will go in which cuvée. Same work in the aging. So each barrel is a different grape from a different parcels, and we will do the blends in the end. Now we are bottling. Just we started 2 weeks ago, and we're continuing tomorrow. The bottling of the 2017, but the blending was only done 1 month ago.
Just one thing to understand really is terroir, you need to smell the empty glass.
Good idea.
Okay. qu'on expliquait tout à l'heure.
Oui, sur le côté épicé, est très doux.
Côté piment de spelette, non?
Oui, on l'a effectivement, on l'a beaucoup. Yeah, so it's always Eric has a very good advice to test. Well, maybe you surely already know, but testing the empty glass is something very interesting because you drink a lot more aromas sometimes than when it's full. And here you can really feel the spiciness specific of this terroir. Because Grenache is not really a grape which is known for the spiciness. We'll see, for example, the Carignan, we'll be testing this after. Carignan is also spicy by itself, but this is really the spiciness of the terroir.
You will be on the side on the thematic of Grenache, but this Carignan needs to be tasted.
Yeah, because I know that the subject of this visit is Grenache, but it's here Caramani is the Caramani appellation and
it's based on Carignan.
What is strange is that it's really something unique in Roussillon. We don't have a lot of Grenache. This is the only place in Roussillon where there is very few Grenache. The main grape is Carignan, and more recently, the Syrah. So we will try now a Carignan, so you can feel the expression of this wonderful grape also. Is the average age? It depends. For example, the Syrah, they're around 15 of average. The oldest are 25, which is already old for the Syrah. So the Carignan are really older. And our Syrah are 60 to 80. You should take a bath. Approximately 1 to 2 months. So we work on the blend during the end of the winter and the spring. So we work on it in several phases. So we try, we test, we retry, we change a little bit. So it's an ongoing process of 3 or 4 months. Three or 4 months. Yeah, we want to ensure something like that. Because some barrels, they're ready, some they need more time, so we need to check everything. And usually until April or May, we know the blends. So we will do the soutirage, we take the wines out of the barrels and we blend them into those big blends. And then they rest in the line for a minimum of 1 month, so the blends really blend. And after we do the bottling. So the reds 2017. They started the bottling 2 weeks ago, and we are continuing tomorrow. And again, for the last part, the 2nd of July. So non, à peine 1 ou 2 mois.
Il paraît qu'au blend à la bouteille, le 3 à 4 mois de...
Oui, alors ça c'est le travail, jusqu'où ça reste en fût. Tant qu'on n'est pas sûr, et c'est vraiment soutiré. Là on a pu faire les soutirages, on a fait quoi? C'était avril?
Début mai même.
Ouais, voilà, fin avril, début mai, on a soutiré. Et là on est en train de les mettre en bouteille, ça fait 1 mois, jusqu'à 2 mois pour ceux qui vont être début juillet. En fait, on a besoin d'1 mois quand même pour que l'assemblage se fasse bien. Voilà, c'est assez rapide en fait.
Is there anybody else for the Carignan? So that is a Carignan which has been planted in 1905. So he has old 100 years old. So same as natural yeast. 50% of grape. Modat production barrel, and it's going to be 18 months ago. So you still have some dryness as well, but it's normal, and that's the goal. And we try to see what it's gonna give in 11 months now. Yeah. It's always work which is difficult, to see. Sometimes after the fermentation, after the décuvage, you put the wine in barrel, you try it, it's very rough. So you see, okay, so you have to see what's going to be in 18 months. So if you have something very ready, too much ready when you put in barrel, it's not that good because it doesn't need barrel if it's too ready, usually. It has to be has some reduction maybe sometimes, or be a little bit rough because barrel, the work is to sell everything and to put the different things one after the other and to have like a meal with 7 courses.
Yes, I can say that.
I don't know if you saw that elsewhere in other winery in Roussillon. But here on the barrel we have some Brocro, and the Brocro is something you can find in Bordeaux or in Burgundy. Here it's not, usually it's lactose, nothing, because they do the soutirage by the top with the can. So that's what we used to have here. And since this year I try to change things to work like I used to work in Burgundy or in Bordeaux, with the soutirage by the bottom. So to have a wine which is going to be very clear right away, and not have to do filtration, not have to do adding some products which agglomerate and to clear the wine. So that's why I didn't do it yet because I put that in place this year. So I'll do the first soutirage with this method in May 2020. So it's something with this kind of tool, with the testodor, and a light, and this kind of thing to lift up the barrel very slowly, and to see where the leaves and the clear wine appear, and to stop right away. So you only have the clear wine, and you don't need to do anything else, not adding colors, no filtration, and no intervention, no pumping, not pumping also, because with that, sometimes you can push that on top, and then with the ball of gas, azote or CO2, which is provided from oxygen, you push the wine with the gas, and you don't use a pump. So that's something I'm going to have to do as well. So to be the less interventionist on the wine, to be more natural, and something we're going to try to do here, and it's new kind of work.
This is something which is very rare right now. And it was a nightmare to find this machine, which is it was 1 year of search all around France. And luckily, we found it in Bordeaux from a chateau that stopped the winemaking. And so the old winemaker, he was okay to sell these things to us, but
is this an old invention or is it very new?
No,
this is something new, right?
No, this one?
Yeah.
No, it's an old one. It was a nightmare to find one.
Oh, okay.
And luckily, because we called all around France to find one, and we didn't find one. And luckily, one guy in Bordeaux, he knew because we found him. He said, "Do you have one? We need one." And he remembered it. And one old winemaker from Bordeaux, he stopped his winemaking at the chateau because I think he sold winemaker or something. So the guy, he remember we needed this, and he called us 1 year later and said, I think I have one from a very old guy in Bordeaux, and he's okay to sell it.
So this is a really, very
yeah.
What's the name of this?
And after you don't have to do filtration.
My brother
or
say it's
adding some
a
products to,
chef.
Chef.
Chef, and the chef
because
is.
you will be very precise.
I'm not sure the name.
Because the
I've
other
never
one,
seen this before.
Chef, it means in English. A chef is an animal.
and you
It's
always
not.
pump a little bit of leaf.
It's not a sheep.
It's not that much, but you always pump a little bit of leaf. And after you need to do some filtration or some stuff.
Here also.
Okay.
C'est ça, d'où t'appelles ça une chef parce qu'il y a deux camps.
Ouais, c'est une chèvre. Je sais pas pourquoi, mais. Last longer, so you can keep it a lot of years.
But the interest is that because it's the wood is thicker, you have less oxidation, and also because we have a bigger volume, the oakiness is finer. It won't be too woody. Because here in Roussillon, we already have a lot of concentration and a lot of powerfulness in the wine. So we don't want to add too much oak, because in our opinion it will be a bit too much, too heavy. What we want is something very fine, very elegant, and maybe bringing some structure and energy. But we don't want the oakiness aromas that will make a wine heavier and maybe hide the terroir also.
So not 100% Syrah, same 30% of full grape, Indian natural yeast, malolactic in barrel, and it's going to be 18 months aging. See, I try not to take a new barrel, it's a second wine barrel, so you don't taste too much wood in it. That's what we like. We don't like when there's too much wood to wine, because as soon as it hides the fruit, it's not what we want to do. And so see, usually Syrah and Roussillon, I think, again, we're not better than the others, just different. But usually Syrah and Roussillon is very black fruit, like jam kind of fruit you have. I think here it's expressed a little bit different. You have a very nice spices. Not pepper, it's more oriental kind of space. I don't know if it's réglisse, j'ai toujours un petit côté réglisse. Réglisse, right. And still a lot of freshness. It's a long. I didn't make you spit at the end, I don't know what to say, when you have done.
20 minutes.
Yeah, and so there's still some talents which are a little bit rough, so I know that the same speech is gonna settle after 11 months.
This is 2018. It was bottled in April, only 2 months, and so it's come from our first vintage in this cellar, because most of our wines are fermented in oak barrels or in the big ones with food. So this one is 100% fermented under oak. But old ones, no new oak in this one.
Wow.
Because there's one over here, but. Ouais.
C'est important de pouvoir se croiser.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
So you can see it's a very, maybe you want to. It's very typical from white wine from Roussillon. Tu veux bien écrire? C'est bon.
Voici, c'est que pour la couleur.
very typical of white wine from Roussillon with those white fruits aromas, like peach for example, but also the floral notes and the white plants such as fennel and anise. I don't know how you translate anise. Yeah, of course. And you will feel it in the end. You have the typical signature of our terroir with the saltiness I talked to you about. The saltiness that make you salivate and bring again a lot of freshness.
Du
coup, t'as revu ça?
Ouais.
C'était pas...
Je l'ai refermé par contre. Max 口味真係唔會有其中一隻。
If you have any questions,
你隻Grenache Blanc放咗啦，隻雞咁。
Ça, j'ai pas d'acheter, ça c'est l'Elition 2018. The next one is called Les Lucioles, meaning fireflies. This one is a blend of different grapes. For example, you have the Vionnet I talked to you about, which was planted just there. So it's more a northern Rhone style because you have Roussanne for 40%, Vionnet for 30%, and then you have just a little bit of Roussillon grapes. Just a Grenache Gris, Macabeu, and Carignan Blanc for 10% each. Tu veux en parler?
紅酒就玩純酒，白酒就玩混種，係咪？
So this one is 2018, and it was also bottled in April, so it's only 2 months old.
And the first one is this one?
Yeah. It started with Decidera.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is, we don't do as much white wine as we do reds. So this is not big production wines. Like the first ones, we produce about 10,000 bottles each year. And the second one we're testing right now, Les Lucioles, is even rarer. We did about 5,000 bottles this year. This is our best vintage in terms of volume for this cuvée. Sometimes it's only 3,000 bottles for this one. Then I would like we have one more white, but I would like to present you the rosé first, if it's okay to you. So rosé is a new wine we're making. It's only the second vintage. It's an original rosé in the sense that we almost do it like a white wine. So there is very few maceration. 1/2 is made of Grenache, which is just there on the other side of the road, and it's a co-plantation. So it's a mix of black grapes, but also grey one and white one, and we harvest them together. We do a direct pressing, and then it's fermenting in barrel. So like our whites. And the other half is a rosé from Syrah, a bit more classical, that we ferment in stainless steel tank, and then we blend the two together. So the idea was to make something fresh enough to drink it in the summer, like a rosé, but also with a bit of structure that you can also drink it at the table with light dishes, with some salads, some fish, simple dishes. So this one, because it's a new wine, we don't do a lot. We do about 5,000 bottles also for the rosé. And we finish on the last white, which is in fact our first white in terms of pricing. I forgot to ask. Do you want to see also the pricing of the wine?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Est-ce que tu peux faire finir le service et comme ça moi je sortais.
C'est bon?
Non, je suis pas servi là-bas. So if you want to have a look at our prices, because I haven't I forgot to say it before. We, for now, because we're a young winery, we have mostly focused on the French market. So we don't do a lot of exports. And we are not working in Asia right now, so I say it if you if you find our wines interesting. We are looking for some partners in Asia. So yeah. So back to the wines. This one is also a new wine we're making. It's as you say, it's something very fruity, very exuberant. That's why we're testing it at last. It's made with Muscat, which is a very traditional grape in Roussillon, but that is mostly used to do sweet wines. That we are not doing here. So when we arrived at the winery with my brother, it was 4 years ago. We found 2 vines of Muscat that my dad was working organically, biodynamically, like the rest of our vineyards, but he was not making wine from because he don't like this grape. So I told my dad, we have to take a decision. Either we try to do something with it, or maybe we have to sell the wines or plant something else instead of this. Because we're losing money working then to do nothing with them. So we decided to try to make something modern, maybe a bit more charming than our other wines. And this is the result. So it's 40% Muscat, and it's also blended with a bit of Roussanne, Viognier, and Grenache. I'm sorry for all the complex blends.
40%. No, the first one is this one.
First one.
Second. And third. Second and last. But in the price list, this one is the first one.
这个是比较便宜
So
的
this，one
但是这是第3个我们喝。
这是我说咱们第一个喝的是哪个？
第一个喝是这个，这个。
Do you want me to write the
一个是这个，第三个是这个，第3个是我是。
我想第一个是吧？第一个是这个，前的这个喝，第一个是这个，
Si tu veux, mais tu veux prendre une tarte, quoi. Vu comment il est vite, alors que 2017 est tard.
Voilà. 那是 rosé，
Pour donner une idée.
第一个是 rosé。
Classical Grenache, Carignan, Syrah, mostly in equal parts, just a tiny bit more of Syrah. It's only made in the stainless steel tanks, and this is the only wine we don't age for too long. We bottle it usually around May. So, for example, the 2018 was bottled 2 weeks ago. This is the 2017. This is our last bottles of this vintage. Very easy to drink wine from Roussillon. Hopefully you find the freshness, the fluidity, the juiciness. Yes, I'm sorry, because we're still working on everything. This is also our office. Yeah, frustrated. So then, so this was AOP Côte du Roussillon. All the other wines we will be testing are AOC Côte du Roussillon Caramani. So this is the really specific appellation of this village, where there is very few producers of Caramani. In fact, you have 2 cooperatives. There is us, and that's it. So we're the only ones working organically and biodynamically. So it's a very tiny, it's very small approach. So this one is mostly made of Carignan. Very old grapes of Carignan. The vines are 80 years old up to 115 years old, like the Carignan we tested in barrels in the cellar. And this one is mostly aged in the cement tank, just here. Also a little bit in stainless steel tank, and also a little bit in oak barrels. But no more than 20%. This is 2015. This is only 20% of the wines that goes into the oak, but the aging is of 18 months. So the big part is in the cement tank here. So you have the breathing of the cement, but you don't have the test. A little bit also in stainless steel tank, and a little bit in the barrels. About 20% in the barrels, 20% in the stainless steel tank, and 60% in the cement tank. So this is 2015, which was a very mature, very sunny kind of vintage with some roundness. And I would like also to present you another vintage, 2016, which is quite different. A vintage with a bit more acidity, a bit more energy. So it's tighter, but it's also very interesting in a different style. So this is the same wine, but 2016.
Same aging.
Same aging. So it's easy to show you two different styles of vintage because sometimes we say in Roussillon that the vintage is not so important because it's always very sunny, our grapes are always matured, but still all the vintages have their own personality.
Is there usually similar methods about the first one? A small pot is open, right?
Yeah, also. But for this one, we only use very old barrels. So they're not supposed to give any more tests because that's really our oldest one from 2007, 2008, 2009. So they're very old, they don't give any more, but we don't think so. But we like to use those barrels because of the brazing of the wood. That also can bring more roundness to the wines. So this was comme avant. So comme avant it means like before because for us it's really the traditional blend of the Caramani appellation with a lot of Carignan, and it's also our oldest vines from 8 years old up to 115 years old. Now I would like to present you another wine, which is for me the modern style of the Caramani appellation, with more Syrah in it. So this is a 70% Syrah wine, with just a bit of Grenache and Carignan, and it's from the 16th vintage. This one is 100% aged in barrels. Still a bit young in my opinion. It will really age very nicely. Doesn't need a lot of time, but just actually just a bit more aging will be very interesting in this wine.
Yes. And the last one is which one?
It's Saint-Pierre.
This one.
Sun plus.
係咪贏嘅來？係10雞，Sun plus。10雞。OK 嘅，幾好呢隻。嚇？幾好。
To finish，
仲可以爆，仲可以爆好幾年添。
10.5雞嗰隻啊？
嗱，你10.5雞。
10.5嘅。10.5啊？10.5。
但係佢 organic。
係。
都是 organic。
OK。係。咁啊價錢。
都是 OK。
So last wine is Le Plus Joli. This one is a very small production. This is the best of the best for us. This is a selection of our 3 best barrels. So every vintage we test all of our barrels to do the blending, and every vintage, what we start to do is just select the 3 barrels that look the best to us, and we blend them to make this wine. So it's only 1,000 bottles of what we consider to be the best of the year. We are back to 2015. The blend can change every year. Now on this 2015 vintage, we choose 2 barrels of Syrah and 1 barrel of Carignan. So I'm sorry, Eric, no Grenache.
That's great. No balance. Looks special.
About 2/3 Syrah, 1/3 Carignan.
Thank you. Merci.
Your camera's okay?
That's okay. Everything is safe. Everything is safe.
Sorry.
No?
Oh shit. Yes, fine.
Whoa.
You saved what was important. You saved what was important.
You're drunk, right?
No, if you're drunk, you can't catch a phone like that.
Tissue. You don't.
Tissue.
Tissue?
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, thank you.
大量的。
Now what?
Thank you.
So this wine, of course, you have some intensity, but we don't look for the most intense wine. We don't look for the most concentration. What we want is to have an explosion of aromas, but at the same time to have some subtleness and some lot of some velvetness, something very very smooth. Comment? Oui.
A velvety sensation in your mouth.
喝一喝就喝出价格来。Le haut de la bouteille est ancien, c'est ça？10块我觉得这个看一下。对，确实是。但是那个白的是我喜欢就是。
But it's easy to open because it's modern wax, so you don't need to break it. You just put the cork, because the cork screw in it, and just do like this. It's easy to. And so on this one, because it's also a wine that it's very, very, of course it's very young now. It's a very nice wine to be to get and to age. All our bottles are
20蚊同10蚊，我反而係中意14蚊嘅最多啲。
We have a very nice aging.
我都係
Of course.
10蚊最多啲。
We find it more beautiful.
10蚊呢就再開放多幾年，放多幾年再個味就會做變化。價錢 OK 喎，係。
The creatures or the most beautiful, because it's a forest. To us, it's the most beautiful wine. Have a bit more energy into it, so more freshness as well. So that's why we planted a grey Grenache and not a white Grenache. This is only that was planted 2 years ago. So this year will be the third harvest. The first one we will be able to use to make some wine. So it's quite nice. So maybe we can have just a little walk, because this place is quite nice, with a very nice view. And after we can see another project we have just on top. We have a nice clos. There's a smaller parcel. This one is not crafted yet. It's only the roots that was planted, and what we want to do is a co-plantation. So we want to mix different grapes in the vine, so we don't need to have to do the vines, and it will be done directly into the vines. But we need to do the crafting the old ways. So this we'll start to do next year.
So follow me. A lot of wall paint with these almonds. Yeah. So they're not ripened right now, but they're not always good to eat. Sometimes they're bitter. So this is.
They're very big, right?
Yeah, because it's only only the seed. So this is not normal size,
Yeah.
and after it's just like an almond. It's very small. So, what I told you before is that here the terroir is very sandy. It's rocks underneath, but on top it's very sandy, and you can really see that we don't have the soil doesn't keep really the water into it. So that's why the roots really need to go deep in the soil to find something. So this is one advantage for the complexity, the terroir expression, but it's also very hard also for us to have enough grapes so to make wine. But here you can really see how it is. This is really the same thing as those rocks you see, but crushed and by the time. So this place is also called, it's named from Saint Martin, the church which is over there, but it's also just up there, it's called Roca-Gilet. Roca-Gilet means a lot of rocks. And this is why also we have all those big walls of rocks, because it's only rocks that came out of the vines. Because when we do the labor, the soil work, sometimes we pull up the rocks, so at some points we need to take them out. And the old ways was to build walls to protect from the wind also the vines. And also that's why here in the middle we have this place, because it's so rocky, it's just a big rock, so it was not possible to plant some vines. So we have this place in the middle of the vines, because the vines continue all around. So this is the same grey Grenache as here. It goes also all around this place. This is one Muscat, which is also ours. This is the Muscat we use for the Petit Modat, right? So here it's hard to show you also the work we do, how to prevent from erosion, how to keep our soil in the vines naturally, because it's so sandy. You can imagine when we have water, all the soil just go with the water. You see there is a imperdri, wide.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Partridge.
Something running.
Yeah, they fly.
Oh, yeah, okay, the bird.
Yeah, but usually they try to run. They only fly when it's needed. So, and it's also very cute. Usually they have all the baby ones just following. And what we do to work on this soil and add more organic material, add more humus, we do some cover crops. So here, of course, it's difficult to see it because we destructed them 1 month ago because we can't keep it for all summer. We need to destruct it and put it back into the soil because if we keep it for the summer, it will use too much water and the vines will die. So we only put the cover crops only for winter. We do it just after the harvest. We put the seeds and it grows until March, April, and then we destruct it and we put it back into the soil. So for example, here you have one that's still here. This is avoine. I don't know the name in English, but this is something you can use to make bread, for example. And it's full of l'azote. I think it's nitrogen. No. Comment tu dis? L'azote. Nitrogen. Yeah. It's full of nitrogen, which is very useful for the plants to grow, but also to add into the grapes for the fermentation. Because the yeast, they need the nitrogen also as like a fuel to do the fermentation. So if you have a lot of nitrogen, this is good to work naturally. You don't need to add it. Yeah. If you want, we can go back in the clos. A clos, maybe you heard of it in other area. It's a vine which is closed by walls. Here we have a very old one, and as I told you, all the rocks were just taken out of the vine in the old time. This is something. This is crazy. This is crazy work. Nobody do it anymore because we are not as strong as the old guys. This is something we planted the same year. Here. No. So here, what's the difference? This is American vine. So this will not do grapes. It's not used because, as you maybe know, like in Europe we cannot put if you want like a European grape in the soil, it will die because of a bug. So what we need to do is to put the American roots that are resistant to this bug and to craft the European vines on top of it. So this is what you nowadays you buy the vines already crafted and you plant them with the American roots and the European part on top of it directly. That is what we have done here. Here we wanted to do something like an experiment, something very high quality. So we did it the old way. We planted the American vines, and then in next year we will take some buds from our vines, and we will craft them into it. So it will grow. The top part will be European, and we'll be making grape like we want to. So this is the old way of doing it. This will not produce, if you keep it like this, it will never do any grapes. And here our project is to do a co-plantation, so to mix different grapes into the vines, to have some Grenache, some Carignan, some Syrah, maybe other grapes also, maybe Mourvèdre, maybe Counoise, maybe Liadonner Pelute, which is a rare grape from here, and maybe we will experiment with other grapes from the Mediterranean side, so maybe grapes from Spain, maybe grapes from Greece, Italy, but that's adapted to our climate here. And we want to mix all of them together, to harvest them together, to make just a special wine like this. So because this is like a claw, we wanted to do something special. So we have a meeting in 30 years to see.
On va y aller maintenant.
Ouais, ouais, bah, si tu veux.